You are listening to the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast with your host, Eric Logan. No Gimmicks, Just Sweat is dedicated to hearing the journeys and unique stories behind an athlete's training and what drives them. Get inspired to own your life and make the impossible possible. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Also, please take a few seconds to rate the show and drop me a review. Now, let's get started with the show.
So since you talk about you got a road bike, is there a specific road bike that you have that's like, oh, this is my baby, this is the only one I ride, you know, this is the brand that I support, I endorse, I love?
You know, the bike that I love, the bike that I fantasize about, the bike that the bike that I'm in love with, if it's okay to be in love with, you know, inanimate objects.
Yes, it is.
It feels so weird. Like, oh, I'm in love with this bike. I'm supposed to say that about a human being, not a bike. But, you know, again, therapy. We'll talk about that in therapy. No, I've ever since in 2023, when Cervelo came out with their updated version of the Soloist, I was like, hey, girl, hi. I'm Shauna. I'm the soloist. How we need to meet each other. One of my favorite bike shops, Velo Pasadena in Pasadena on Colorado Boulevard, always keeps one in stock. And once every few months, I will go over there and ask Harash and his family if I can just test out the Cervelo Soloist. And they're like, yes, Shauna, go ahead and ride it. God, why don't you just come in and buy this thing? And I'm like, I don't know. But no, I love the Cervelo Soloist. The one I want is 6,800. Like I will easily take care of it for the rest of my life. But I like it because it's an all-around bike. You know, it sits between, I believe, the S5 and the S3. I think that's what I remember. It allows for you to do everything that you would want to do on a road bike.
Okay.
And I mean, it's called the Soloist, and that's only what I've been for the past, 20 years of my life. I have been an entrepreneur. I've been a vocalist. I've sang on stages as a soloist. I teach people how to be soloists. So, I feel like, Cervelo, call me. Just call me. Okay. Just call me.
If you're listening,
oh my gosh, if you're listening, I love it. The black is lovely. The white is beautiful. The gold needs to be hanging up on my wall. Okay. Just the gold one. I'll wear gold nails. I'll keep I'll do you right. Okay. I will do you right. I will make sure that everybody who knows anything about singing, dancing, and riding bikes chooses Cervelo. Okay. I will.
There's the endorsement.
That's it. But right now I ride a 2019 Specialized Alley Sprint.
Okay.
It's in Kiwi Mint, and it's the same color or similar color as Bianchi, as the Celeste Green Bianchi. So oftentimes when I'm riding, my bike is mistaken for Bianchi. And it's always fun to have that conversation. Oh, look, you're riding a Bianchi. No, I'm riding a Specialized.
Yeah.
No, you're riding a Bianchi. Do you know how to read, sir? Sir, do you know how to read? It says Specialized on it. It doesn't say Bianchi. Oh yeah, you're riding a Specialized. Okay, you know what? Maybe you just didn't have enough carbs this morning. It's all right. All right. Blood's got to flow.
That is my race day bike.
Yeah.
That has been my race day bike for the past 4 years.
So I'm so glad to hear that, because I bought it off of someone who doesn't race.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to work for Rafa temporarily. And my colleague, when I was there, sold me the bike. And I bought it because I paid the same amount for that bike as I did my previous one.
Right.
And I was like, okay, financially, it just makes sense for me. And a lot of people in my cycling community, when I bought the bike, were so excited. I think for multiple reasons. Number one, because I got a new bike. I was finally like, up to par, right? I was struggling on my other one, but like with this one, it's a solid bike. But number two, the people that I ride with who race bikes, they were like, "Oh, you're ready to go."
Yep.
And so my athleticism, my fitness, my wellness goals right now, and even holistically, I say to myself, well, I accidentally, quote unquote, accidentally purchased this bike that's a race bike. I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was pretty, and it was in my budget. So
Right.
I bought it. And but now I know what I have. Well, shit, now I got to race, So and honestly, like that's been my energy around it. Like I've never competed for anything in my life ever. And I do hold some anxiety around competition.
Right.
And of course, safety and things like that. But I say to myself, well, you have the athleticism, you have the nutritional habits, you now have the bike,
Right.
and you live in an area where you can train year round for racing. So
Yes.
it might behoove you to just start thinking like a racer and start training
Mhm.
and making sure that you are intentionally operating your life as someone who is racing bikes. So provided that my schedule frees up and gives me the
Right.
gives me the time to be able to do it, which we working on some things, we got some irons in the fire for that. I would love to see what it's like to compete. I don't know if yay go I don't know if that person is gonna show up, but
It's a feeling. It's very addictive,
that's
especially
what I
when you
hear.
have people that
Yeah.
are cheering for you that you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even and one thing that got me really to have little kids,
Okay.
they kind of
Yes.
look at you and it's like you were fast, or
Yeah.
just to be excited.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
like, I like your bike, I like your kit you're wearing, you know,
Yeah.
you were fast. I saw you,
Yeah.
just to have that, and this is no anything behind it. It's just pure. It's innocent.
It really is. That's how I feel when I go to Trader Joe's after a ride.
Pure
Yeah.
innocent.
Yeah. Everybody in the grocery store is like, "Oh, did you race today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
raced at the Trader Joe's. I did." I did. Yeah, you do feel like a superhero, or you feel like a leader. You feel
Yeah.
healthy. You feel intentional and purposeful. Um I often say I love running errands on my bike. I do. It's how I started cycling. I have no problems like going grocery shopping right after a ride or something like that, and I'll ride in right with my bike. And because I feel that it's also for I think for Black people in America, particularly those of us who are darker skinned,
Hmm.
whenever the world looks at us differently when we have our cycling kits on and
Yes.
when we have our bikes near us.
Yes.
For a small moment in time, our race is not the primary thing to discuss or to be afraid of.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
so the public will talk to you as a cyclist, and it's always nice. That's my most favorite part about being a cyclist. It's the leadership in humanity.
Hmm.
It's the perceived place that cyclists are put in society, and how the rest of the world views us. Like you and I know that going 20 miles on flat road is nothing. You
Yeah.
might not even bring, no matter what the weather is, you might not even, if you forgot your water bottle, you'd be like, all right, no problem.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. But to someone who doesn't know anything about cycling, to do 20 miles, it blows their mind.
Oh
It
yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
blows their mind. So, you can't even talk about centuries. You can't even talk about racing. You ain't gonna like, you're not gonna like horrify these people that you don't know.
Right.
But, to just do like your daily route, your daily ride, that's something that, you do just to keep the legs fresh.
Right.
But to the rest of the world, for people who don't ride bikes, there's such a there's such a mental distance between
Mm-hmm.
who they are without being cyclists and who you are as a cyclist.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that it doesn't take much for them to do 20 miles. And they think it's such a huge
Yes.
take. They think it's such a huge, huge thing to do 20 miles. Now you look like a pretty fit gentleman, right? You look like a gentleman that's pretty, that's in shape and everything. I'm in my winter body right now, right? Okay. I'm in my winter body. And so I love being a dark-skinned Black woman who has curves and everything and shows people like, nah, I ride 40 miles a day. If it were up to me, I would ride 50 miles a day. And they're shocked when they see someone who is curvy, who says that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, whoa, what do
Yeah.
you mean? I'm like, yeah, you don't have to be rail thin. You don't have to be, no, cycling is for every space body,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
for
Yes.
everybody and it's for everybody.
Yes.
It's for all bodies. So I like being someone who talks about that because the world would be better if we rode bikes. I honestly think the world peace that we fantasize about comes with a bike.
I'm gonna agree with that. As a
Yep.
fellow cyclist, yes.
Yep. Yep. The way that you feel, I know for myself, I mean, of course, I've shared my story about how therapy has helped me because of cycling.
Mm-hmm.
But even as I progress forward, there have been months that I've not had a bike or, my bike is in the shop or whatever. The community that we talk about, that the world talks about wanting to have, it exists in cycling.
Yes. Yeah.
The pillars of community, all of the things that everything that we fantasize about as human beings and having it be a better place and leaving the world a better place and, leaving a better place for our children and, taking care of those who are older than us. Like all of that exists in cycling. The reverence to people who are, who've been doing it so much longer than you have. And the way that we want to mentor and take care of those who just start out. Like I have never in my life experienced more love,
Yep,
more attention, more care, more admiration even than when I became a cyclist.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've never, and I'm a musician, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm Southern. Like I know what that is, but like dead ass, I have never experienced the level of community that exists in any other community than in cycling. Don't get me wrong. I have cussed many a people out in cycling.
Right.
But at the same time, like when I say I love cycling, love is such a limiting word. Mm-hmm. It's such a limiting way for me to express my admiration and my devotion to the bike. The bike has mentally taken me, it's holistically taken me so many different places. It has quantum leaped for whoever, y'all will tell me, how I think about society. It's the healthiest thing that my cardiovascular system has ever experienced. It's just, the only downside to cycling is when you get into an accident, but even then you're showing off the scars and, I remember I went down on, my last accident was actually last April. I was hit by a car on my way to work.
Oh,
and
wow.
I went down, coincidentally, I went down right in front of a hospital. So the emergency, the EMTs came right around, the ambulance came right around. It was very fast. And I dislocated my thumb. Mm-hmm. And every time I see it, I take a photo and my hands are showing, I can see that my hand is not, I can see the difference. And even in that, I mean, granted, thank you, God, that, I could have been much worse. Yes. But I love showing off. Like, oh yeah, oh, you need to know where the exit is. Oh, point over there. Like, to show that, like, yeah, I got a fucked up thumb, like whatever. In the summertime here, I went down on the PCH about 2 years ago. I was riding too close behind one of the guys, and the guy in front of me just didn't call out a rock or a pebble or a comb or whatever in the road, and you know how that happens.
Right.
It was we all went down. And I went down and I scraped the top of my shoulder here and on my thigh and on my leg. And so I get up and, I'm crying and like, I'm just letting it all out, and I'm crying like I done lost my dog and everything. And I do the ride. Like, that's the thing. I go and finish the ride, which is like, why did I do that? I should have just called an Uber and went home. Right. But man, I was proud to go to the market and get my bandages and, like clean it up. And I was wearing short dresses and no sleeves and just waiting for somebody to be like, oh, what happened? Oh, man, let me tell you, I went down on the PCH. Girl, let me tell you. What? Oh my God. How did I? Well, I'm alive now. I'm good. But yeah, that's a gnarly scar. But, my best friend was like, we need to put you under IV. I'm like, no, we won't. I love my scar. Okay. You better take that shea butter and put it somewhere else. Like, I like my scars. I like my scars. They are battle wounds, I'm like, right. Yes, I did that. There's a story behind this scar on my leg when I went down at the Rose Bowl or whatever. I remember it, and it's made me stronger. It's made me say, oh, I didn't give up. I know. And this is why I said earlier, bikes are not toys, they're tools. If I thought about cycling, if I thought about bicycles as a bike, I'd never get back. I mean, as a toy, I would never get back on it again, because I'm a grown-ass woman. Why am I playing with toys?
Exactly.
But it's a tool. And I know what cycling has done for me outside of just riding. And it would be a huge misjudge of character, as well as all of the work that I have devoted to cycling and to my health and wellness, to put the bike away.
Right.
Because it's done so much for me. There's so much more. There's a happier and healthier and wealthier and hopefully sexier version of Shauna that's later on, all because of cycling. Mm-hmm. And I can't just put it up just because I had a small accident that I recovered from.
Right. Exactly.
I can't put it up. It continuously, it does, crocheting. I have a company called Fierce Stitch where I make winter accessories, and I make them by crocheting. Crocheting is a skill that it takes just a little bit of patience to learn it. And when you learn it, it gives you patience. Cycling is very similar. It takes a little bit of time and effort to learn how to ride the bike, clipping in and getting on and understanding the gears and everything. But once you get it, it gives you years. It gives you years of health and wellness, and you meet people. And if you're good at networking, you end up like meeting people and like connecting on projects and getting jobs and getting this and moving up in your career and being invited to podcasts and like, you get to meet more people and talk about the things that you are passionate about, and what is in the common denominator of it all being a bike, something as small and insignificant. Well, not insignificant, obviously, but like something as small as a $2,000 purchase has served your life, has set you up for the rest of your life to just move you in such positive ways. And you can't let go of that just because you had an accident that you healed from,
And it's fear for a lot of people.
Sure.
And I hear that even when I ride, people are like, oh, you're not scared of riding on the road through the city? I'm like, I said, that's just like being scared to fly,
Listen, Black people in America we have learned how to deal with so much more than riding a bike. Right. Okay. And it's which is why I'm a huge advocate for Black people, not just Black Americans, but Black people, particularly Black women. Listen, your birthright has prepared you to be a cyclist, okay? Your birthright. If you know how to deal with racism and sexism and misogyny and everything, cycling is going to be a piece of cake for you. It's going to be a piece of cake. So, again, it's the place. Yeah. I think it's the place where you get to let out all your frustrations, but also heal at the same time. Get faster, get stronger. Your heart gets faster. Your lung capacity grows. Exponentially. There's, other than the occasional accident that occurs, it's just nothing but good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So before I let you go, I want to ask you.
No, no, this is fun.
Well, we can always do it again.
That's fine. I'm here.
We can always do it again.
I'm here.
But I'm going to ask you one last question.
Sure.
What would be your piece of advice for someone who wants to be their Cycle Bay of their area?
Well, number one, the handle is already taken. So,
well, do you have a trademark?
The handle is already taken. Yeah. I think all of us. I think that there are more Cycle Bays out there than not.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that by being a social individual on a bike, that inherently makes you a Cycle Bay.
Okay.
Because everyone that I have met in cycling, now don't get me wrong, I can name some names of people that I'm like, listen, come over here if you want to. I'm ready to swing on you. But everyone else, like, so loving, so warm, so welcoming, so inviting, so knowledgeable,
right?
So interesting. It's like you cannot say that a cyclist only does fill in the blank, because we do everything in the world professionally, socially, athletically. It's a wonderful equalizer. So when I think, I had a business manager at one point who asked me about Cycle Bay and what was it and how do I want to be known in the world, and I mean, I tend to think in terms of like friendships and relationships. I have had wonderful experiences being a cyclist here in Los Angeles County. I think of Cycle Bays as people who are just happy, who know that the bike contributes to their health and wellness. They're not afraid to talk about it.
Right.
They're not afraid to talk about how cycling isn't a part of their identity. It's not their whole identity, you know. Yeah. It's not their whole identity. There are people who don't know how much I ride a bike. They probably know that I ride a bike, but they don't know how much I ride a bike. And part of that is for my own protection. I don't tell everybody what I do on social media. Right. But I can pretty much say that every day that I leave Hollywood, I'm riding my bike somewhere.
Okay.
And I live in Hollywood. I work in Hollywood, and sometimes I socialize in Hollywood. But anytime I'm outside of Hollywood, chances are I have my bike with me. So I'm either riding it or gonna go ride it somewhere else, or whatever the case may be. I've ridden it to auditions. I've ridden it to performances. Like it's a thing. It's my mode of transportation. So I think of a Cycle Bay as someone who just understands that cycling is the tool. It's just the most wonderful thing that has ever been invented for humanity. I know that sounds really Pollyanna and very cheesy or whatnot, but go get your little cheesiness in your life, right? There's nothing wrong.
See, the listeners didn't see the smile I just saw. Right? So that's how I know it's pure for you. It
really is. Yeah. It really is. Because I also, don't get me wrong, like, it really is pure. It's cheesy. It is that. But I also know the dark side of it. I know what cycling was like. I know what my life was like when I didn't ride a bike.
Right. Exactly.
And I know how dark it was. I know how sad and how depressed and and with low self-esteem and didn't know, kind of had this dream out there, but never really told anybody about it, never even really admitted to myself that I wanted to be happy. And, there's just so much that, and again, I can't speak for nobody except me, a Black American woman who is inherently happy, but always felt like I had to lessen myself and play myself small to make other people comfortable, right? I can only speak to that person.
Right.
Girl, get a bike. Girl, get a bike. And then when you get that bike, take that good old health insurance you have and go to therapy for Black girls and pick out somebody that fits your budget, and then get a cute little journal from CVS or wherever you get your $5 journals, a booklet or something, and write about everything that you're experiencing and allow your experiences to be as genuine as they are, because you deserve to experience happiness. Yes. You're not a mule. You are here on this earth in this lifetime to experience the positive things here on earth as well. You're not just, you're not just a punching bag for other people. I used to fight on social media with people all the time. Like with now what's going on in the news cycle, man, I would just spend hours fighting with people that I don't know. And now I'm outdoors riding. I ain't got time to fight. I don't have time to argue. I don't have time to fight. Nor do I even want to talk to people who are keeping that negative energy, or not even, I'm not going to call it negative energy, but keep that energy that just doesn't go anywhere constructive. I can't keep that energy around me. I know that I'm here for a purpose. And thanks to cycling, that purpose is that I get to coach individuals on how to go from being a singer to being a vocalist. And I teach social emotional learning and middle schools throughout Los Angeles County. And I get to perform and I get to share my knowledge of both classical and contemporary music, which spans about 600-700 years of music. I get to do all of that. That's what I'm trained to do. And I show up and I'm excited to do it because now I understand purposefully why I'm here on this earth at this particular time. And cycling is very much so, one of the cornerstones as to why I feel so empowered to speak so confidently about life and living and happiness.
Yeah. Well said. I couldn't have said it better.
Yay!
We're definitely going to have to do this again.
Listen, put it on my calendar, okay? Just put it on the calendar.
You can be like, this joker don't pencil me in.
Yep. No, listen, if you got the email address, put it on the calendar. I'll be there. Like, don't tell me because I'm on my bike if that's the case. But if you put it on the calendar, I'm there. I love it. No, I'm serious. I really do. Thank you so much for inviting me. I know that the conversation could have been like, yeah, what kind of derailleur do you have? Do you run SRAM or do you run Shimano, or are you a campy girl? Like, what are you? We could have easily talked about like, well, yeah, you like Specialized, but I don't. And why okay, whatever. Like we can debate about that as well. But my absolute favorite conversations are around, now, what did the bike do for you?
Oh, yes.
What has the bike done for you? How have you introduced cycling to people in your life? How have they seen a difference in you because you have I don't have to look at your bank statements to know how much you've invested in cycling. Right. You don't have to look at mine. It's an investment.
Yes.
But you'll do it again, won't you? There's no regrets.
Yeah.
There's no regrets because there's such a return on the investment. There's such a holistic return on the investment. And so I love having conversations around like, here's this one little thing that we thought of were toys. And now as adults, we've learned that are tools. that help us to live happier and healthier lives. So no, I love, you can put me on as your positive psychology expert in cycling, and we can make this a monthly conversation. I love it. I absolutely love it, because I mainly another reason why I say that is because and this might be controversial, but I don't care. At me, call, DM me if you got a problem with what I'm getting ready to say. But women are inherently built for cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Our power is in our legs, it's in our hips, it's in our butts, it's in our thighs. And so when I learned that, when I realized that the women that I was riding with, the majority of the women who were fast and strong that I was riding with were racers, and that we were shaped similarly, I developed a whole different appreciation for my body. I'm like, holy crap, I'm no longer shy about covering up and not being seen or nothing. Like, no, I'm very proud of how my body is structured. And that type of awareness can save women, can really save women mentally and emotionally from doing various things that may not be beneficial to their life and livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always will speak about the holistic benefits of cycling, and I'm very open in sharing my experiences of being a cyclist that started a COVID cyclist. I'm a proud COVID cyclist. Proud COVID cyclist. Yes. But part of it is because, like I said, I went through therapy. I've always been one that liked to share. I mean, I've been sharing Shauna since I was born, but now I feel empowered because I've experienced so many wonderful things in cycling. Even though I haven't raced, even though I've joined a few race teams, but life was lifing and I wasn't able to participate in any races. But I can certainly talk about everything else that has to do with cycling. And so I would love to continue the conversation.
Well, you've got it on record now that you said it, so can't back out.
I won't back out. I won't. We can make it a regular segment. Yeah.
All right. So before you leave,
yes.
2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
First one was you debuted as a professional vocalist with Symphony.
Yes.
Second one is you love shopping.
Yes.
And the third one was you love competition.
Yes.
So I want to say, after listening to here, the one that I originally picked was, you love shopping.
Yes.
But listening to you as you talk, I
yes.
think the one that's an actual lie is I love competition.
You're absolutely right.
See? Absolutely
right. But I misunderstood. As I continue talking, I was like, I really don't like shopping. I don't. I don't. Back in the day, I used to date and be like, yeah, if you married me, I'm not going to shop too much. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can save some money with this one. Come on. But now, I ride bikes. And so, and the bikes that I ride, or at least the way that I ride, can be a little expensive, But no, I do not like shopping except for, I shop for the things that I like to do. I have never been the woman that takes a credit card and goes to the mall and goes crazy. That has never been me. I'd rather have experiences than things any day of the week. But I will say, yeah, I don't like competing. You either are or you're not. And having to prove that you are has never been something that I'm really into. Like, and maybe that's, for me coming with an arts background, if you get the audition and you get the role, you just got to show up and do it. There's no competing for it. The casting director either likes what they see or they want to go with somebody else. I can't change myself externally or myself vocally to fit what you want if you don't know what you want. So competing in my life, in my adult professional life, has never really existed. And because I grew up, I ran track in high school, but my every medal that I ever received was because I probably drank some sweet tea beforehand and then didn't go to the bathroom. And and was like, they were like, on your mark, get set. And I'm like, yo, I'm getting ready to go. Okay.
Yes,
And
you are North Carolina.
I'm not running to get first place. I'm running to that bathroom, honey. Okay. So,
Yes, you are East Coast South, North Carolina.
I am a Southern belle that lives in Hollywood. Okay. By way of Philly. So don't, like.
By way of Philly.
By way of Philly. I definitely, Philly taught me how to cuss people out, at school. But Philly, shout out to Philly, okay? Shout out to Queens Rule Together, Kings Rule Together. I have some beautiful, beautiful memories of my 10-year bid in Philly. My Lord, my God. But at the same time, yeah, I get all the sunshine and all of the palm trees and succulents here in Southern California. And I love it. I'm married to Southern California. I'm in a situationship with Hollywood. Like I can kind of take a leave Hollywood and LA in general, but I am so married to Southern California. I love it. But yes, at the core, I am a Carolina girl. I know my Bojangles, I know my sweet tea, I know my Krispy Kreme donuts, I know my I know all them things, I know my college football and basketball rivalries and all that stuff. But I am definitely out here. But yeah, I just at the core, competition has never been a part of my life. And so that I have to learn about competing. Competing sounds like, well, competing is just it's another mindset that I just have not had the opportunity to experience. And so yes, I have the tools and I have the skill and I have the athleticism, but I don't have the mindset.
Right.
And I've always competed with myself, but to compete with people that I ride with all the time, that feels weird. Like, what am I going to do? I mean, like, for example, Lonnie, who you had on the show, shout out to Lonnie. Shout out to
Lonnie. Who does not love or know Lonnie?
Let me tell you, Lonnie is so dope.
Yes.
Lonnie is like, I'm so proud of her. I adore her. I try every time to see her to make her, when I see her, to make her blush and to make her giggle and to make her laugh. She's so dope. She's so opportunistic in a way that she sees something, she wants it, she goes and gets it. She doesn't let anything prevent her or block her from getting the thing that she wants. And when I say opportunistic, I mean it in the, Webster's dictionary version of it, not the stigmatic, not the version that has stigma attached to it. I think everyone should take advantage of every opportunity that they want.
Right.
If it means subjugating someone else, now we got a problem with that. But take advantage of the opportunities that you see that are out there. And she is just such a wonderful example here in Southern California and abroad of what it means to take yourself out of your community, or not even just your community, but a community's mindset, and just do the damn thing.
Yep.
Like, just do it. Just do it. She's so dope. She's so beautiful. She's such a joy to be around. And so, like, because I know her, it's weird to compete with her. Like, what am I going to do when this girl smokes me? Be like, I don't hate Lonnie. How am I going to hate Lonnie? Like, why am I going to do that? Girl, I adore you. I mean, if she get first place and I get 15th, I'm be like, yeah, Lonnie. Like, I'm a natural born cheerleader for everybody. I want everybody to be their best, and stop leaving the let the bullshit be the bullshit. Like, it's too much joy to get out here. It's too much. It's too much.
Yes.
It's too much joy. Too much joy. It's too many opportunities out here to be happy. So why be miserable? Yeah.
So some people choose it for some reason, but hey,
we're put on this earth to create. Some people create joy, some people create happiness, some people create problems. And it's really about what you want to create. And so all of us are creative human beings. And Lonnie has created a beautiful pathway. She's just created such a beautiful space for anyone who is curious about cycling,
Yes.
anyone who's curious about it. Anytime I see her, I shout out, "Hey, Cycle Bay," and she's like, "You're the Cycle Bay," and I'm like, "I know. That's why I can call you that." So, so no, shout out to her. Yeah, I think that cycling is for everyone, and I want everyone to experience it. I especially want women like me to get a bike. You will not regret it. Ride with people who are faster than stronger than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, eat your carbs, eat your protein, drink a gallon of water a day. Do the things that you see on social media to do, or that you read about to do. Have a banana, drink a green smoothie, call me up if you need recipes. Like, it's just, there's so many things that you can do in order to really make your life very, very different and healthier. And one of the things you can do is get a bike. So yeah. And then ride it.
And ride it.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody wants to get in contact with you, they've listened to this podcast, they're like, "Oh, Shauna's amazing. I want to know Cycle Bay. How can I get in contact with her? How can I follow her?"
Well, just Google her. I make it easy. I make it pretty easy. I make it too easy sometimes. Getting DMs from strange men. I'm like, "Do I know you?" You're real comfortable. I just did this earlier today. Someone commented on something I said. "You talking to me like we met before.
We're familiar.
And maybe I have met you, but you speaking real familiar to me. So, you talking to me like we met. So let's just, have we met? Oh no, we have people in common. Okay. So let's just confirm we have not met. And yet you're asking me questions as if we've met,
Yeah. People in common, y'all follow the same people.
Right.
That's people in common. That's the thing I've learned. I'm like, I don't know you just because I follow the same person you follow. That doesn't mean we know each other.
I mean, and the common denominator might be cycling, but have we met? Like,
right. Exactly.
have I had the opportunity to say, "Hi, I'm Shauna," and then you speak back to me? Yeah. And maybe that's a generational thing. Like maybe people who are of a different generation, a younger generation, will say, since because they're connected online that, we know each other. No, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Just because you're connected to me on social media. No.
It's generational. I will tell you, it's generational.
Yes, it has to be. It has to be generational. So yeah, anyway, so yes, you can find me online to answer your question. I make it real easy for people to find me, to talk to me, to shout out, and to communicate and connect. I mean, mainly, again, as I said earlier, it's all about connection. I am Cycle Bay, CYCLE .BAE. Homegirl that has Cycle Bay without the dot won't give it up. So, I have the dot in there until she gives it up. But if you, for anything that doesn't have to do with cycling, so for example, for music, for teaching, for education, for social emotional learning, and for my performances, or just, just to chat about anti-racism and positive psychology, and, or, you remember me back from that's Shauna L. Howard, SHAUNA. L. Howard, HOWARD. No, I'm not related to the people at Howard University. Yeah, so I don't know much about Howard the Duck other than I was teased a lot when it was in school around Howard the Duck. But yeah, I mean, you find me everywhere. Every time there's a new platform that pops up, I get the handle just for the future. Who knows? I might do something with it. So I'm really active on Threads. I like Threads a lot.
Yes,
yes, I do. I woke up one day and was like, thousands? What? What? But then, I said this earlier. I'm not going to hold you, but I said this earlier. I don't think of myself as extroverted. I am social, very much so. I don't think of myself as extroverted. I think of myself as someone who loves talking about the thing that I love to talk about.
Yes.
I'm really good at talking about the thing that I love to talk about. And coincidentally, the thing that I love to talk about is health and wellness and fitness. And right now in 2025, post-pandemic, when everybody on this earth is probably taking a pill or smoking something for the PTSD that we all have suffered post-pandemic, I learned how to make my life a little better. And it came through a bike. And so I have no problems posting photos. I have no problems talking about my experiences. I'm also a Black woman who has been in the arts. And so I'm comfortable talking to people about the things that I talk about. And so I'm likable. I had to realize that one day, like, damn it, you're likable. Okay, fine. and even more so than that, I'm inviting. And I like being that. I like being a safe place for people who are curious about the things that they want to change in their lives. It's a part of a consulting practice that I have. Like I enjoy doing that. I enjoy working with people and helping them to realize a goal for themselves. So, I'm very vocal about the activities that I do. I just started talking more about other things in my life outside of cycling on my Cycle Bay Threads account. But yes, I'm very active there. I don't know. It's just something different about it. I like it. It's pretty dope. But thank you. I do remember that's how we met. I saw that you interviewed Lonnie, and if you interviewed Lonnie, honey, you can talk to me and anybody else I know. So, yeah.
I'll tell her that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure. I'm sure. I am sure. No, this is great. I really do like talking about cycling, as you can tell. But more.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like talking about politics. I don't, because they're gonna do what they do.
Nobody talks like
that. They're gonna do what they do. But I do like talking about health and wellness and fitness and the arts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to talk about anything about that, I am here for you.
Well, we'll talk about health and fitness next time.
Yay! Yes. I'll talk about my green smoothies and all that stuff.
All right. Give out the recipes.
Yeah.
Well, Shauna, thank you for coming on to the show. I love it. The smile, the conversation. I love it. You've already committed to come back on the show.
Yes.
I have it recorded. So
absolutely.
No getting out of it.
Give me an outline. Send me an outline. Then we can play two truths and a lie, and I'll know exactly right then. But, yeah, we're good to go.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. You'll probably go out and ride the bike.
Yeah, maybe. I stayed home this morning. I got some rest instead. But tomorrow I'm definitely gonna ride. I'm probably do a century tomorrow. I've been itching to just get out and do a long ride tomorrow. So yeah, I'll probably do that tomorrow, and then I'm definitely I have a meeting on Friday, so I can't ride on Friday. But my favorite ride, Montrose, is on Saturday, so I'm gonna gear up for that. And then go hang out with the homies at the race on Sunday. So yeah.
All right. Well, take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast. We really appreciate everyone who tunes in each week. If you enjoyed today's show, please support us by subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember to tell your friends about the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast, so we can continue to have awesome conversations with everyday athletes just like you. Until next time, have an amazing week.